Journey to the West, an audio drama series. Chapter 31, Part 1. We speak of the foal who was captured by a swarm of monkeys. After all the pulling, tugging, and carrying around, his shirt was torn apart. Repeatedly he muttered to himself, forget about it. Once I go, it will be a matter of violent death." Soon enough, they made it to the cave entrance. Sitting on a rocky cliff, the great sage shouted, "You stuffed creature! All you had to do was leave. Why insult me at all?" Prostrated on the ground, Bajie said, "Oh, big brother, I never insulted you. If I ever did, I would bite on the root of my tongue. All I said was that if big brother wouldn't go, I will just go repay master's favor on my own. How would I dare insult you?" Xingzhe said, "How could you ever hide this from me? When I pull my left ear upward, I can hear chattering from those up there on heaven of 33. When I pull my right ear downward, I can hear the 10 kings of the underworld and their judges making sense of their registers. Just now, you were insulting me as you walked. How could I not hear it?" Bajie said, "Oh, big brother, I am aware of that. You are cunning like a rat. You must have transformed into something and eavesdropped as you followed me." Xingzhe then said, "Little ones, bring over the bigger sticks. Let's hit him 20 times on the ankle as greeting before another 20 times on the back. And after that, I shall send him on his way with my iron rod." Panicking, Bajie kowtowed and begged, "Big brother, please, for the sake of master, spare my life." Xingzhe mocked, "And I surely know what a kind one master is." Bajie then said, "Big brother, forget about master. Please, for the sake of Bodhisattva on the seas, spare me." Hearing him bring up Bodhisattva, Xingzhe became slightly more inclined to change his mind and said, "Brother, if you say so, I shall not hit you for now. But you have to be honest and hide nothing from me. Where is the tongue monk, and what suffering has brought you here to coax me back?" Bajie answered, "Oh, big brother, there is no suffering. He really does miss you." Xingzhe shouted, "You cursed creature really deserve a beating. Why are you still trying to dupe me? Elder Sun's body may be back in the water curtain cave, but my heart never left the scripture-seeking monk. That master of ours is destined to suffer every step of the way and is bound for disaster everywhere he goes. Tell me everything as soon as possible and spare yourself a beating." Bajie heard his words and kowtowed to report, "Oh, big brother, I clearly wanted to invite you back while hiding everything from you. I never thought that you would be this clever. Spare the beating and let me go first, so I can tell you everything." Xingzhe said, "Fine then, get up and talk." The monkeys thereby released their hands. The foal then jumped up and stared frantically at his sides. Xingzhe asked, "What are you staring at?" Bajie explained, "I'm checking which road is wider and easier to run away on." Xingzhe said, "Where do you think you can escape? Even if I let you leave 3 days ahead of me, Elder Sun still has the power to catch up to you. Do make your case now. If you dare ignite my anger, you will not be forgiven." Bajie then detailed how Sanzang was captured by the yellow robe monster, met the princess, and was turned into a tiger. He concluded by bringing up the white dragon horse, saying, "It was he who instructed me to invite you, elder brother. He said, 'Elder brother is a kind and just gentleman, and gentlemen do not dwell on past grievances. He will certainly come save master from his suffering. Big brother, please consider the bond from the saying, to be teacher for a day is to be parent for a lifetime. I beg you to save him.'" Xingzhe complained, "You fool! When I left, I instructed you again and again that if a monster spirit captured master, you would tell them Elder Sun is his eldest disciple. Why didn't you mention me?" Bajie thought to himself, "To enrage a general is better than to invite a general. Let me ignite his temper a little bit." He then said, "Oh, big brother, it would have been better if we had never brought you up. It was all because we did that he became even more insolent." Xingzhe asked, "How so?" Bajie said, "I told him the following. Monster spirit, don't you get unruly and don't you dare hurt my master. I have an elder brother and his name is Sun Xingzhe. He's got immense powers and is an expert in subduing monsters. When he comes, I bet you won't die without having a place to bury your corpse." The monster heard that and became increasingly outraged. He shouted, "What even is that Sun Xingzhe? Why would I be afraid of him? If he ever comes, I will skin him and pull out his tendons before taking a bite on his bones and devouring his heart. Even if that monkey is a skinny one, I can still chop him into pieces and cook him in oil." Xingzhe heard that and became so mad, he was pulling on his ears and scratching his cheeks. Jumping up and down in fury, he asked, "Who dared insult me like that?" Ba Jie said, "Big brother, calm your anger. It was the yellow-robed monster who spilled those insults. That's why I just repeated his words to you." Xingzhe said, "Get up, my wise younger brother. I'm not saying that I won't make the trip, but since the monster spirit dared insult me, how could I not go subdue him? I will go with you. 500 years ago, Elder Sun created a havoc in the heavenly palace. When all those divine generals across heaven see me, each and every one of them would bend their backs and call me great sage. How very insolent this monster spirit is that he dared insult me behind my back. I shall go and capture him. I will tear his body into 10,000 pieces just to make him pay for insulting me. After I have avenged, I shall come back here." Ba Jie said, "That's right, big brother. All you have to do is capture that monster and avenge for yourself. Afterwards, whether you come with us or not is all up to you." Only then did the great sage jump off the cliff and burst into his cave. Taking off his monster attire, he tidied his brocade shirt and tightened the tiger skin skirt. Wielding his iron rod, he came straight out the gate. Panicking, the group of monkeys gathered in his way and said, "Kindred Lord, the great sage, where are you going? Wouldn't it be better if you could just look after us and enjoy another few years of fun?" Xingzhe said, "Little ones, listen to what you're saying. The fact that I am escorting the tongue monk is known across the realms. From up in heaven to under the earth, everyone knows that Sun Wukong is a disciple of the tongue monk. He didn't banish me back here. He only told me to come pay a visit home and enjoy some carefree fun. Because of the matter at hand, you all must carefully watch over our home and properties. Plant your willows and pines on time and don't leave anything untended. Wait a while as I go to protect that tongue monk so we can bring the scriptures back to the land of the East. Once the merit is complete, I will certainly come back and enjoy all the freedom and happiness with you." The monkeys thereby received their orders. The great sage only then held Ba Jie's hand as they rode on clouds and departed the cave. When they were crossing the East Seas and approaching the West Coast, the great sage stopped the clouds and light before saying, "Brother, go ahead slowly for now while I head down to the seas and clean myself." Ba Jie said, "We are in a hurry. Why clean yourself at all?" Xingzhe explained, "You have no idea. Since I've been back, I have the odor of a monster myself. Master is someone who likes things clean. I fear that he might not like me that way." That was when Ba Jie realized that Xingzhe had a sincere and truthful heart, with no second thought in mind. In moments, he was done bathing, so they resumed their journey westward on clouds. Soon, they saw the golden pagoda emitting light. Ba Jie pointed and said, "Isn't that where the yellow-robed monster lives? Sha monk is still in his home." Xingzhe said, "You stay in the air. Let me go down there and see what it is like in front of the gates so I can fight it out with the monster." Ba Jie explained, "Don't go, the monster is not home." Xingzhe said, "I am aware of that." Splendid Monkey King. He then descended from auspicious light and came straight outside the cave entrance to look. What he saw were two young children playing with bent sticks and furry balls to see who can hit the most balls in the right holes. One was older than 10, while the other was about 8 or 9 years old. As they were playing, Xingzhe rushed forward and, without asking who they even were, pulled on the tuft of hair on top of their heads and lifted them away. The children were so frightened they began throwing wild insults while crying non-stop, which disturbed the imps in the wavy moon cave. They hurried inside to report to the princess. "Madam, some unknown person has snatched the two young masters away." It turned out that they were the two children the princess had with the monster. The princess heard that and hastily ran out of the cave entrance. What she saw was Xingzhe lifting the two kids while standing on a tall cliff. It looked like he was about to throw them off. Terrified, the princess cried in a loud voice, "That man over there! We have nothing to do with each other. Why are you taking my sons? Their father is a powerful one. Should anything go wrong, he will not forgive you." Xingzhe asked, "Don't you recognize me? I am Sun Wukong Xingzhe, the eldest disciple of the Tang monk. I've got a younger brother, Sha monk, in your cave. You go release him, and I will return the kids to you. Exchanging 2 for 1 like this is honestly a great bargain for you." The princess heard that and immediately went inside. She told the imps guarding the door to get out of her way before untying Sha monk with her own hands. Sha monk said, "Princess, don't you untie me. I fear that monster of yours will come home and ask you for me. That will throw the blame on you again." The princess explained, "Oh, elder, you have done me a great favor. You made an excuse to cover up my letter home and saved my life. Setting you free has always been on my mind. What I didn't expect was that outside the cave entrance, your elder brother Sun Wukong is here telling me to let you go." Huzzah! The moment Sha monk heard the name Sun Wukong, it felt as if the essence of wisdom showered upon his brain and sweet dew moistened his heart. As joy grew from his face, the air of spring filled his chest. It was as if he didn't just hear that a certain person was coming his way, but instead discovered a pile of gold and jade. Look at him, stretching his hands and straightening his clothes as he walked out the door to pay courtesies to Xingzhe, saying, "Big brother, you really did descend from heaven. I beg that you save my life." Laughing, Xingzhe replied, "You monk! When master was reciting the tightening band spell, did you ever try arguing on my behalf? But you can talk now. If you want to escort master, why aren't you on your way westward and are squatting here instead?" Sha monk said, "Big brother, say no more. The virtuous man does not seek revenge for past grievances. We are merely generals of the losing side. We have no right to discuss courage. Do save me, won't you?" Xingzhe said, "Come up here." And so Sha monk made the jump and headed up the rocky cliff. We speak of Ba Jie, who stayed in mid-air. When he saw Sha monk exit the cave, he quickly descended from the clouds and called out, "Brother Sha, my heart goes out to you, my heart goes out to you." Sha monk saw him and asked, "Second elder brother, where did you come from?" Ba Jie explained, "Yesterday, after I lost the battle, I returned to the city in the evening. Upon meeting the white horse, I learned that master was in trouble. Yellow Robe did a magic trick and turned him into a tiger. The white horse had a discussion with me, so I invited elder brother here." Xingzhe said, "Fool, quit the chattering. Take these 2 kids. You can each hold one. Head to the city of Precious Elephant and provoke the monster while I wait here to fight him." Sha monk asked, "Oh, big brother, how are we going to provoke him?" Xingzhe answered, "The 2 of you all descend on clouds and stand above their horde of gold carriage. Don't ask questions. Just drop the children down on the white jade steps. If people ask who they are, say they are the sons of the Yellow Robe monster and the 2 of you caught them. When the monster hears that, he is bound to return here. That way, I won't have to head inside the city to fight him. If we have to fight above the city, there will certainly be some puffing of cloud and fog and stirring of soil and dust. That would frighten those in the palace, as well as the officials and residents. Everyone would be disturbed." Ba Jie laughed and said, "Big brother, every time you do a deed, you trick us." Xingzhe asked, "What do you mean, tricking you?" Ba Jie explained, "So you brought the 2 children all the way here. Both already had their nerves shattered. They will soon lose their voices from all the crying, and in moments they are certain to die. If we throw them off, they will turn into meat patties. How can the monster possibly let us off? He will surely demand the 2 of us pay with our lives. And you can stay clean from all of this, can't you? There won't even be a witness. Isn't that tricking us?" Xingzhe answered, "If he drags you, you 2 can keep fighting him all the way here. We've got a spacious battlefield. I will be waiting right here to strike him." Sha monk said, That's right. Big brother has got a point. Let's go do this." Only then did the pair put on their mighty aura and take the children away. Xingzhe then hopped off the rocky cliff and arrived at the entrance of the pagoda. The princess said, "You monk, haven't a shred of honesty. You said if I let your younger brother go, you will return my children to me. Now that I have set your younger brother free, you are still keeping my children. Why are you at my door?" Laughing along, Xingzhe answered, "Don't you blame me, princess. You've been here long enough. We are only taking your boys to go see their grandfather." The princess said. Don't you get disrespectful. My Lord Yellow-Robe is not like others. If you frighten my children, pat them on their heads and calm them down. Xingzhou smiled and asked, Oh, princess, as someone born between heaven and earth, what constitutes as a crime? The princess said, I know the answer. Wukong said, You are a woman. What do you know? The princess answered, I grew up in the palace and received teachings from my parents. I remember ancient texts said that there are 5 penalties which apply to 3,000 varieties of criminal behavior, and the biggest crime of all is being unfilial. Xingzhou asked, And aren't you an unfilial person? Because, as the ancient poem says, O my father who begat me, O my mother who nourished me, alas, alas, my parents, with what toil ye gave me birth. That is the reason why filial piety is the origin of all actions and the foundation of all virtues. Why are you staying by a monster's side and not thinking of your parents? In what way do you not deserve the verdict of being unfilial? Having heard this, the princess's ears slowly turned red as her face blushed in a state of shame. Suddenly she uttered, Elder, what you said were the truest of words. How could I not miss my parents? It is because the monster spirit snatched me here. He enforces strict rules which makes it impossible for me to travel around. Being so far away from home, I had no one to deliver a message. I thought about killing myself, but I fear my parents would think I had run away and there would never be a clear explanation for all this. Therefore, I had no choice but hold on to my gasping breath. I am truly one great sinner of this world. When she was done talking, tears dropped from her eyes like spring water. Xingzhou said, No need to be sad now, princess. Zhu Bajie told me that you wrote a letter that saved my master's life. In the letter, you also expressed how much you missed your parents. Elder Sun is here with a promise to capture that monster for you, and will bring you back to the royal court to see the throne. You can find another good spouse then and serve your parents till old age. How does that sound? The princess said, Oh, monk, don't you seek your own demise? Your younger brothers from yesterday were mighty-looking men, yet even they couldn't defeat my Lord Yellow-Robe. You are one skinny ghost with more tendons than bones, looking like a crab whose skeleton grows on the outside. What power do you have that you dare claim you could capture a monster? Xingzhou laughed and said, Well, you certainly have bad eyesight and cannot recognize the right people. As the idiom says, the bladder may be big but lacks weight. A steel-yard weight may be small but offers heavy counterbalance. They just look big but are of no use. When they walk, the wind slows them down. When you make clothes for them, it takes more cloth. They are a stick too hollow to start a fire and a plank too soft to qualify as a door-bolt. Feeding them leads to nothing. Elder Sun here may be small in size, but I'm strong and steady. The princess asked, Do you really have what it takes? Xingzhou answered, You have never seen what I am capable of. I promise you that I can subdue a monster and tame a beast. The princess said, Don't you let me down. Xingzhou said, In no way I would. The princess said, If you really can subdue a monster, how will you capture him? Xingzhou said, You will need to stay away for now. If he comes in with you still here, it will be hard for me to take action. I fear that you are so smitten with him that you won't want to let him go. The princess said, Why wouldn't I want him to go? The reason I'm stranded here is completely out of my control. Xingzhou said, You were his wife for 13 years. How can there be no feeling at all? If I see him, I will not play around. A strike is a strike, and a punch is a punch. Only when I defeat him can you return to the royal court and meet the throne. The princess indeed listened to Xingzhou's advice and hid herself somewhere quiet. Their romance was meant to end here, for the great sage has arrived. The Monkey King hid her away before shaking his body and transforming into the spitting image of the princess. Turning back into the cave, he did nothing but wait for the monster.